Everybody, I know some of us have been waiting, right? And we've waited. When are they going to start? We've been having serious technical issues, and we do not just want to go without having this. Yeah, and we know that people will still come back to come and watch. Yes, and thank you for watching. We are going to be watching again. Thank you. And as you all know, today is onboarding session. This is cyber safety media. And you all know you're familiar with the cyber safety webinar that we normally do every once every month, right? And we have more, speakers and panels that have joined us, right? And we are sorry you might not be seeing our face. Just bear with us for now, right? So we have more professionals that have joined us, and that is what we are trying to do. We want to onboard them so that you hear from them, and from time to time, it will not just be my face. Shegun Lani that will be seeing. You'll be seeing their face in peers, right? And they will be right speaking to us on cybersecurity related issues, doing exegesis on cybersecurity concepts and the rest, right? So we are going to be introducing Rachel, Daniel, and Felix, and they're going to be taking over from here. I'm going to be leaving the call for them. They're going to do their thing. And Daniel, if you can put on your video, please go ahead. I can see Rachel already. Daniel, put on your video. Felix, put on your video. I'm still waiting for us. So put on your video. Danny, are you there? Is Daniel there? It's like Daniel is not there. Is Felix there? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Please
I'm
put
here.
on your video. Put
I'm
on
trying
your
to,
video.
but I'm unable to. I'm trying.
Okay. Who else? Daniel. Daniel is not on call. Okay. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to be bringing Mr. Briggs on call. So I think Daniel is not with us right now. So let me see. Let's add Mr. Briggs. Mr. Briggs is the co-founder of Cyber Safety Media. Yes, Mr. Briggs is here. Mr. Briggs, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Please turn your video and please just start. I will kick myself out of the screen. Just start and yeah, we have people
Okay,
joining us. Okay?
yeah, pardon everyone. We've been having some little technical issues, and these technical issues has been persistent. We trust to get over it with time. Can you hear me very well? Okay, so there were two breaks, a cybersecurity specialist, and you all know me, co-founder of Cyber Safety Media. Thanks for joining us in today's webinar, and we'll be doing a quick series, which is the onboarding session, of these great minds and these wonderful people joining us in this cyber safety media ecosystem. It's been a long walk since we started the cyber safety media, and it's been wonderful so far, so good having these people coming from different roles in cyber security, and they will be mainly helping us boost the goal and the vision of cyber safety media, pushing security awareness through the webinars, creating content, and several upcoming ways which will be putting out also to help grow the community. Yeah, so not wasting much time, we have a wonderful speaker, um, Rachel. We have Rachel in the studio. Rachel, can you tell us about yourself? Over to you. can't hear me.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm Rachel. Can you please come again with your question?
Yeah, just tell us about yourself. Do a quick personal intro.
Okay.
So,
I'm Rachel Pupola. I'm from Ghana, actually. But I'm sure a lot of people will be having confusion about my name. Yeah.
okay.
I'm actually a Ghanaian. I was born here, I was raised here. I've never been to Nigeria before.
Wow.
But appearance, yeah. So I
That's
started cybersecurity early this year, to be honest. I started on my own. I started self-learning. Then I joined a boot camp where I studied the cybersecurity myself too for certifications in other communities as well. I
okay.
transitioned from agriculture. I have a bachelor's degree in agriculture into
Interesting.
cybersecurity. That is the more reason why I started my mentorship program and helping people transition successfully from their career path into cybersecurity. Because I've been there before and I feel like I relate more to their problems. Thank you.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah, Rachel, you are transitioning into cybersecurity, and we we are laying the foundation for you. Together, we build a better career for you. Okay, so Mr. Felix, Mr. Felix there. Okay, so Mr. Daniel, are you with us?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so give us a quick intro about yourself. Very brief.
Okay, sure. My name is Daniel Lokodi with Africa. I manage IT called Checo. That's exactly what I do.
Okay, okay, that's right, but I didn't get you very clear. It wasn't clear. Rachel, did you hear him very well?
No, please, I didn't.
Yeah, come again, Mr. Daniel. Be audible. Give us your intro one more time so we can hear you
Can
very
you,
well
can you hear me?
and get it. Yes, we can hear you well now. Time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I
Okay,
said my
so
name. I work with TD Africa and I manage checkpoint, being a security solution. Yeah.
okay. Miss Mrs. You are the founder of ClickSave, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so tell us about your journey as a cybersecurity startup founder. How difficult has it been for you, and what did you have to tell the audience watching? Very brief.
Okay, what I think I found difficult with the startup was getting more females into the mentorship program. It's easier for the men to come out and say they want to be mentored, they want to go through it with you or ask questions, but it's quite difficult to get the same energy from the females, coming from the females. And to be honest, I set up this consultancy basically for females to help more females, but it looks as if it's the male that I do get
Okay,
to interact with most of the time. Yeah, so that's the difficulty with my click save. So I would urge the females to be enthusiastic about it, to be optimistic. There's nothing you cannot do. You can do it. I am doing it, so I'm sure you can also do it.
okay, So, Mr. Felix, are you there? Yeah, Mr. Felix. Okay, so we'll be moving into a quick intro about the cyber safety
Yeah, I'm
that we
here.
do. Okay, so give us
Good evening,
a quick
everyone.
intro about yourself. Yeah, good evening. Tell us about yourself, your role in cybersecurity, and more.
Oh, I didn't get the question. It was breaking.
Okay, I said tell us about yourself, a
Okay,
quick intro about yourself.
as Buluwatufegundele Felix.
Okay,
I'm a recent
from
graduate of computer science from Lautech University of Technology. Am I being
okay,
heard?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm
Right
currently
on.
serving at a tech firm which is cybersecurity oriented.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So you currently work for a tech firm, right? Yeah, we'll get to that. So before we dive into it, okay, can you tell us a little experience about yourself working for a cybersecurity startup or a firm? What has been your experience and how has it been so far?
okay, say it is really challenging and okay, I could say it's really challenging and it could be sometimes overwhelming because
Okay,
number one, I'm just starting out a career in cybersecurity and the acronyms are much. The acronyms when you different type of acronyms, you just get to know things and just have to know them on a go, like on the run. So it's kind of challenging because guys tend to overwork themselves because they're managing so many important things that are very delicate and are needed every time. You know, there are times that we do some risk analysis and you have to just fix the bug and fix the issues that are involved. So it's a very really demanding and challenging field which needs dedication. So
yes, yeah, like
so
the
sometimes
words say,
you I feel that
cybersecurity
you might get to
is
work at midnight even though if you feel you're working remotely because you have to probably mitigate a risk from
yes.
escalating this kind of things. So
Okay, can hear you. Are you still speaking? Okay, all right. So, Miss Rachel, tell us about your role in cybersecurity.
Okay, in cybersecurity, I'm actually specializing in cloud
Okay,
computing.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's my role. Yes, and I love
awesome.
it in cloud. To be honest, I love it. Currently, I'm working on some projects on Azure, Microsoft Azure, and then AWS. I'll soon publish them on GitHub, and I'll share with my audience on LinkedIn. So be expecting them if you want hands-on projects to do. Thank you.
Okay, so someone from the comment section is saying the speakers we need to be audible. Please, if you are speaking, be audible so
Okay.
the audience can hear you. You spoke clearly. Okay, so you said you're into cloud computing. So what are the
Yes.
difficulties and your challenges you face during your whole learning process and up till now? What are your
The challenge,
challenges?
the challenges I would say I face being a cybersecurity maybe enthusiast is just really learning, having the passion. You consistently have to know things. You constantly have to read. You have to be reading every time because things keep changing, things are getting updated. So it's not really a challenge to me. I feel it's for me to better grow myself. Yeah, so that's the
Oh,
only challenge I can say I face in cybersecurity, to be on my toes, to keep learning, to keep reading and reading. That's it.
okay,
Thank
that's awesome. Yeah. So, Mr. Felix, are you there? Hello, Mr. Felix. Okay, so we won't be wasting much time fighting these technical issues of the sound and the background. We'll be moving on. So, Miss Rachel, we are the most active now, and
Yes, I'm here, sir.
most questions.
you. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your role in cybersecurity.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I said you should give us a brief explanation about your role in cybersecurity and tell us about the journey, how you got into cybersecurity, also what motivated you. Are you there? Okay, so we'll be pushing most of the questions to you, Rachel, to save time and make sure we 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 make use of every time we have now. Okay, so tell us about your journey, how you got into cybersecurity, what year you
Okay.
got into cybersecurity, and so
Okay. I got into cybersecurity through a, a relative, I would say. He was speaking, it was just like a coincidence, to be honest, because he was talking to his friends about cybersecurity. He wanted to take up a role in cybersecurity. He was so enthusiastic about it. And I got curious. So it was curiosity that led me into cybersecurity. I got curious to know more about IT. The little part of what he said to me when I told him I was also interested was, "Are you ready for a change?" Because cybersecurity would is so different from my background where I was coming from. That is agriculture. And I said yes, I was ready for it. And so I was up for the game. Luckily, coincidentally for me, I was browsing online and I saw um, recruitment of Cyber Safe Foundation. They recruiting students to study cybersecurity. I applied, I wrote the exams, and I passed. I think amongst like 8,000 people that applied, among the 300, I was honored to be one of them, and I was excited for the journey, and it's been good so far. That's how I got into cybersecurity. Yeah, thank you.
okay, that's interesting. Your journey so far has been a very wonderful one. Transitioning from agriculture is supposed to be like a motivation to others trying to break into cybersecurity. Okay, so we have a question from comment section which said, "Oh, Rachel said the challenge she has is not actually a challenge, and she expatiate on it." Okay, someone is asking for you to expatiate on when I asked of the difficulties and the challenges which you face in cybersecurity. You stated that the challenges which you have are not really a challenge to you, that it's all about putting consistency and reading and reading. So, can you just expand on that for Patrick
Yeah.
to be okay with it?
The challenge I was referring to was personal one. But on the economic aspect or on the broader side, I would say the challenge is creating more cybersecurity roles in Africa per se, because most of the roles I've seen, a greater portion of them, a greater percentage of them, it's outside, and then there are no much cybersecurity roles to be here. So that's one challenge I can say in the economic part of it. But personally, the challenge to me is the reason why I said it was no challenge was that in the other aspect, it's helping me to grow self development, to say, because
Okay.
there are a lot of materials out there. If you don't take care, you are going to be overwhelmed. You need to get
Yes.
if you have the right way of managing your time and tracking your progress, that is it. That is why I'd urge people to have like an accountability partner or a mentor so they can track their progress to know they are still on the same track. Else you divert divert from the role you said you wanted and be doing a whole lot of things, because cybersecurity is a broad field.
Yeah,
There are
it's
a
a
lot
large
of things
ecosystem.
in cybersecurity. So if you don't take care, you're going to be getting overwhelmed with a lot of information from various angles. But
Yeah.
if you are able to get one part, you're able to research on, oh, this is what I want to do. Maybe in cybersecurity, you want to go into GRC, you want to go into SOC, you want to go into pen testing, you want to go into cloud. Immediately, you find a particular role you want to stay or you want to follow in cybersecurity. I suggest you get an accountability partner, somebody who you would always go back to in case or in case you are deviating, or somebody who can guide you through the right path and not overwhelm yourself. You'll be overwhelmed, to be honest. There's no field in cybersecurity that is kind of
Not
less
overwhelming.
stressful. We are all stressful in a way, but
Yeah.
it's better to know what you are doing, to be stressed in the right way. Yes, I'll put it that way. I hope this answers your
Okay.
question, Patrick.
Yeah. We'll wait for his response while we move on. We have less time. So, buttressing to the whole cyber safety media. So, we'll talk a little about the personalization of yourself. Okay, how you got into cyber security, your journey, and now. So, tell us how excited are you joining cyber safety media? What are your desired impacts that you wish to implement and um, create positive change in the cybersecurity ecosystem via cyber safety media?
Okay, I'm very happy to be part of um, cyber safety webinar because it aligns with my own objective, reason why I created my own consult. And since it's a way to be able to impact other people to take up roles in cybersecurity and also for them to get their own, for them to get their own, to get to their own destination, it's more than something I've desired for. It's one of my goals to be able to impact a lot of people in cybersecurity, especially for my gender. I'm not, I'm, yes, especially for my gender, to be able to impact them and to take up leadership roles in cybersecurity. So I'm really happy to be part of digital cyber safety webinar. Sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Patrick is saying thank you, Rachel. I just wanted you to be clear on it, and I can totally relate. Okay, thank you, Mr. Patrick, for your your feedback. Um, Mr. Daniel, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Daniel.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so same question that goes to Rachel
Can you hear
comes to
me?
you
Can you hear me?
also.
Can hear you?
Yes, I can hear you now. So how excited are you joining cyber safety media? What's your desired impact? Okay, so if the network issue persists, we'll just be going with Rachel alone, so we can wrap up and move on to the next section because we have a brief discussion, so we won't be wasting much time because of the technical issues. Okay, so Miss, okay, Rachel, how would you describe your communication technique and your communication style? Are you open to social talks, or you prefer just writing? And just give us a briefing on how you feel best with your communication technique.
Okay, I think with your question, yeah, relating it to maybe writing or maybe speaking. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I say I can do both. I can do both because I've been building for the past um last year, from the last year to this year, I've been speaking a lot, relating speaking a lot on maybe conferences and interviews and podcasts. So I've built my confidence in that level too. And writing right now, I do not have a much problem with that. So I can do both writing and speaking. I'm up for it.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. No, so we'll be having you as our upcoming speakers in cyber safety media because our awareness month is coming up and we'll be doing much more of talking. So
Yeah, no problem.
you'll
I'm
be,
up
you'll,
for it.
you'll be giving our audience premium content.
I'm
Yeah.
up
So
for it.
yeah, thanks. And the audience are happy to have you and wait and I wait to see the stuff we should be producing. So working with people, issues comes up, and what's your orientation towards conflict? How
Okay.
best do you sort that out?
I think I respect everybody's views when it comes to some things. Like we may not know the reason why the person might be mad at what they are mad at. We try to compromise or tolerate each other. So in a sense of a conflict outbreak in a workplace, the best is we talk it out, we speak about it, we talk about it, we approach it, and then we know so that we do not make the same mistake that will offend or be offended in upcoming events. So the best way I deal with conflicts is to talk it out, to speak about it so we do not repeat the same issues over and over again. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll move in on see if we can have Felix or Mr. Daniel on it before we proceed. Mr. Daniel or Mr. Felix, can we have you in the studio? Mr. Daniel, Mr. Felix. All right. Okay, so if you want to, let's say, recommend a role in cybersecurity, which role would you prefer for someone to venture into? Let's say, a cybersecurity enthusiast. I love cybersecurity, and I don't know a career path or a role to venture into. Would you, let's say, recommend your role as a cloud computing personnel, or would you require a different role? Just tell me what particular role would you require me as someone getting into cybersecurity?
Okay, it depends on their interests. That's the first thing I'll say. Their
Yes,
interest.
I
They
love
have to
the
find
the entrance.
it depends on their
Yeah,
interest. They have to find what what interests them the most. Some people they like to maybe fish out the reason, the cause of a problem, or how this how a problem occur. How those people it is best for them to go into SOC and to be a SOC analyst or something. But some people too they prefer legal terms. They are always on you should go the right way. There should be no shift. They are rigid in their own way. And those people I recommend GRC to them. But for my place, my cloud, the reason personally why I went into cloud was I love I love new things, like things coming up. I always want to be innovative, creative, like I always imagine things, visualize things. That's the reason more reason why I went into cloud. But when I got into cloud, I realized cloud in itself had a lot of other fields. In the same cloud, we have GRC, we have all the other cybersecurity domains inside cloud security. So even if you are into cloud and you still want to be into pen testing, you can still do it. There's a domain for you there. So I recommend cloud to almost everybody because when it comes into cloud, there are still other specialization you can do. If you choose not to be maybe the security side, you want to go into the admin side, the architecture side, the pen testing side, the SOC side, there's fields domain in cloud security or cloud computing for you. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, so Mr. Felix and Mr. Daniel, you guys are all, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Oh,
you.
all right.
Okay,
Sorry
so
for
I'll
that.
need to go back and show some questions back to you
It's
to
fine.
keep it going so you don't miss out. Okay, so let's say um I was asking, okay, yeah, I was asking you what's your your desired impact to um, cyber safety media, joining cyber safety media. How excited are you, and what's your goal? What's the plan you have for cyber safety media?
All right. Thank you so much for that. Sincerely want to apologize for the network. Yes, let me when Mr. Shego actually told me that yes, I would be added to cyber safety media, I was really and super excited. Because this is actually something I really want to do. So I see myself as someone that would want to walk into an environment where people have little or no idea on cybersecurity. And, I'm actually
Okay,
there to enlighten them, to tell them that, oh, this is that, Um, so my goal actually, and with the goal of cyber safety media, which is to enlighten people, to break down difficult cybersecurity themes, to people, generally. So the same thing also applies in that I also come in, I support with explanations of what cybersecurity is and the terms related to it, so just to enlighten people about cybersecurity and how they can also safeguard themselves too.
okay, so that's awesome. We had a very interesting talk from Rachel when she was asked what role would she recommend for someone getting into cybersecurity, and I would love to know your role in cybersecurity.
Okay, so for me, I joined cybersecurity. That was last year. So I work with TD Africa. I manage a cybersecurity solution. So the thing was, initially I wasn't interested in cybersecurity, but because of that shift in position, moving me to go manage a cybersecurity solution, I just had no choice than to fall in love with cybersecurity.
Okay,
So yeah, so for me, I'm actually yet to say I'm more like a red teamer, a blue teamer, and all of that. So for me, I'm still on the side of the business, the business side of things, whereby I recommend
Business
a
model.
solution to exactly. So the business side of things, whereby we walk into an environment, I recommend a solution to them. I even recommend people, that can also work with an organization, also more like consultancy,
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Security consultancy and
yeah,
like you do security business modeling. Oh,
exactly.
okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So yes, this is a question for you. We on the spectrum of maybe being an introvert or extrovert. Would you place yourself? Do you prepare public speaking and the rest? So tell
Of
us about
course.
that.
Okay, for me, talking about introvert and extrovert, it all depends on the environment, So when you walk into an environment you really do not know, at first you are reserved. You tend to understand the whole environment, before you go all in. So for me, I'm both. I'll just say that I'm both in the sense that when it comes to public speaking, for example, it's something that I can, go out there. I can be the loudest person actually in a room, while in some environment I'll just be calm, just to understand, what is actually going on and where I can actually come in. But when it comes to public speaking, it is something I personally I love. I love public speaking so much. Where I work was not. It was on Friday actually. So I had this meeting with our partners. Where I talked to them. I recommended the solution. That we sell to them. So it's every week I actually engage in public speaking. Where I teach people. About cybersecurity.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very awesome point. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Okay, so moving on, what motivates you the most? Everyone has something that motivates them. It can be music, it can be anything. So, what motivates you to work, like increase your work efficiency? Do you like working individually or do you like working as a team? Because some people can't cope with teamwork. Teamwork is something they can't
It
balance
can.
up. And
Sincerely, really.
yeah, so Rachel,
Okay.
that question goes to you too. After Daniel gives us his own point of view, you take
Wo- So, working for me, I'll just be sincere. When I'm working alone, I'm more productive. Yeah, I'm really more productive. I tend to focus more. Working with a team can be very stressful, really, because you have some people who are not, aligning to, the vision of the team or the goal. Some persons will be dragging you back while you have that energy to push to tell them, okay, let's do this. Some are, slowing and all of that. So, um, for me, working alone is really, really something I love. But at the same time, I can also work with anything, so to say.
okay. So in a process where you are working with a team and um, okay, so in a process when you are working with a team and the work efficiency isn't going very well and you tend to get angry, how do you manage conflict in your workspace?
Is that to me?
Yeah, that's to you.
Okay. So when it comes to conflicts, for me personally, it still boils down to maturity. It's just all
Yeah.
about maturity. So something happened at my place of work. I wanted to get a particular information, from a co-worker, and the way she responded to me, I wasn't happy about it. And of course, this is something that would, grow the organization, so to say. So she responded negatively. She didn't, as if she does not really want to give me that information. She ended up giving me, I was angry. She was also angry. The next day, I just had to reach out to her, that were you actually in a bad mood yesterday? And she was like, not really, that what happened. And I explained to her the way you responded, I really do not like it. She now said, oh, that she's sorry and all of that. So the point is, I had to go back to her again the next day, just to iron out things. So when it comes to conflicts and working with the team, it's actually all about understanding and maturity also. Maturity comes in play for me.
Okay, so you feel maturity is your own remedy
Yeah, you
for
need to use
handling
maturity
conflict. Okay.
to exactly to just die out any issues in the team.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Rachel, the question gets back to you. The previous question I asked. So what? Okay,
Understand?
let me just.
Should I speak?
Yeah, what's to you?
Yeah. Between being an introvert and an extrovert, I think if it's about speaking in public, I'm more of in that side. Yeah, I like to show. So I'm more of an extrovert than an introvert. I can be an introvert sometimes where I hide completely from the public side, but sometimes too, I can come out of my shell. But right now, I really want to come out of the shell. So I'll prefer to be an extrovert to an introvert. And about the question about, I think, conflict at work, is that what you asked him?
Yeah, your question goes with what motivates you the most after the introvert and the extrovert person.
What,
What what
come,
what motivates you the most in your workspace?
what motivates me?
Yes,
What motivates me is
having enough
actually,
motivation for your work.
okay. If I'm in a team, it depends on the situation at hand. If I'm in a team and they are all pulling their weight, I think I'll work better with the team. But if I feel they are not, I prefer to work alone than in a team. But most of the time, I feel I am more productive working on myself, working alone than in a team. Yes, because I feel most of the time I tend to lay back when I'm in a team. But when we are all contributing and everybody's pulling their weight in a team, oh, that's awesome. I work wonderfully well in a team as well. Thank you.
Okay, so Daniel, you have a question. You don't want to. Okay, so you avoid getting your hands dirty. A question from Patrick would have that answered. So,
What
yes,
does it mean? I don't get that. With regards,
yeah, I don't
okay,
really
okay,
get
okay.
also.
I think it's actually talking about the cybersecurity aspects. Where I said I'm more of the business side. I think so. Um, maybe
Okay,
the technical
Mr.
side of
Patrick,
things.
just explain it more through the
Well,
comment section. Then
exactly,
we'll pick it up from there.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, so Felix has not been joining us because of technical issues, and we are running out of time. Okay, Patrick says, okay, when you said you handle the business side of
Yeah.
cybersecurity, yes,
See,
so you don't
let
want
me
to
let
get
me
your
tell you
hands
guys.
dirty.
One thing about me is I'm more of a business person. Do you get? I'm more of a
Okay,
business person. Trust me. Yeah, I'm more of a business person. So, but and I love cybersecurity. I love cybersecurity so much. I can actually pull out the technical guys. I can actually go in front of them that, let's say an organizational setting now. I can actually walk into an organization to sell out cybersecurity to them. Why they need technical guys? Why they need to secure their environment? So And for me, it's just for me to connect myself with this. For example, I know Patrick. Is actually one of my friends. I can reach out to Patrick. I can reach out to Mr. Briggs. I can reach out to Rachel. Guys, there's a gig somewhere. You guys need to come and pull out your skills and all of that. So that is actually where I place, so to say.
Okay, so Patrick,
Yeah.
he answered your question. So we are running out of time. We have a brief discussion. Yeah, so and after a brief discussion, also the entertaining questions through the comment on, and this is like an onboarding session where we let our audience and our followers know about the the, the coming up of this wonderful minds where we have Rachel, we have Felix and Daniel joining the team. So we can just give this an onboarding session without having a brief topic. So the topic goes like this. With the evolving of the internet, we see scams, cons of several cyber attacks comes up also. So, social engineering is one of the most sophisticated kind of act that has to do with human manipulation, and it is said that technology has less abilities in this course. It has to mainly do with human interaction. So, in the aspect of social engineering and phishing, do you think the older generation or the younger generation, in this sense, who do you think needs cyber security awareness, and who do you fall prey for social engineering and phishing attacks most? Is it the older generation or the younger generation? Rachel, the question comes to you first before Daniel. You know,
Okay, I think it's the younger generation. And the reason why I'm saying the younger generation is that we are the ones mostly in the limelight, looking for job opportunities, looking for new opportunities, looking to maybe get be financially stable, or in another aspect, stability. We are looking for that stability in our lives. So we are a bit vulnerable. Our emotions most of the time is all over the place. When we hear about this opportunity, we are going for it. We can be applying for this. We are just all over the place. So we are the most vulnerable people out there. For the elder people, I think most of them really are not that on social media. They are not even, most of them are not, though most lately they are also coming up on social media and other stuff. But I suggest, or I think the younger generations are the most vulnerable when it comes to cyber attacks, in the sense of
okay,
we are in the limelight most of the time. We are seen everywhere doing this, doing that. Last last yesterday or something, I posted something on my LinkedIn about a scam that happened right on LinkedIn. I don't think any other person would have even gotten close to such, would have even gotten such an experience, but I did. And I had to share with my sisters, cyber girls in Cyber Safe Foundation, about some scams going on in LinkedIn. And most of the time they are targeting people needing opportunities or in search of jobs and other stuff. So that's why I chose the younger generation, being most vulnerable. Thank you.
okay. So that's a very interesting point. Daniel, within the older generation or the younger generation, which do you feel fall into social engineering attacks, and which do you feel needs the awareness most?
So I would want to see it in the light of an attacker. So attackers would. Can you hear me, please? Hello, can you hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. So I want to see it from the light of an attacker. So attackers would really want to. Their major focus are, those people that are established, so to say. People that are older, with experience, and with something of great value. So and if we look at the trends of attack, so to say, it's usually uh, boils down to people with value, like I said. So I would say, for me, I would go for the older generation, in that these people are less experienced. They are less experienced with regards all of these phishing attacks and social engineering. For younger generation, they are these IT guys. They themselves, they are becoming aware. They know that, oh, there are scammers out there. But for the older generation, because of their experience, they fall prey most times, because of their little experience in cybersecurity, and the methods that are being used also by these attackers.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. I think we lost. Yeah.
Okay, I think he's a.
Okay, so you were giving a point about uh, your own perspective and what you feel. So let's use a pretext or fishing, for example. Let's do a vote on this. The population of people falling for phishing attacks, let's say a banking phishing or a, okay, I think both the older generation gets vision to and are manipulated into revealing banking details. Okay, so let's use in digital where information are out at your risk, at your reach. So the younger generation stands the higher chances of knowing about this is much more than older generation. Because if you check for the banking social engineering statistics, the older generation fall more for discounts much more than the younger generation, because the younger generations are the ones putting the attacks mostly to the older generation. Yeah, like let's say the vision where they go and pretend to be from the banks. Yeah, most young people they don't fall for that, but the older generations they mostly fall for that because they are not aware that information can be gathered online and can be used against them. But the young guys will ask some sensitive questions, and the attacker will tend to lay up. And once he lays up, and the younger guys they say, okay, this guy is a scammer. But the older generation, they will just give out all the information that are being required. But there's still a balance there. The two sections need the the awareness, and they really need to put their heads into getting more information about how attackers can break into getting their information and more. So Patrick said, I think both the older generation, okay, yeah,
I would like to I would like to answer Patrick's question.
okay,
He's saying, if I said I like to work alone, how do I really intend to manage tasks and people? I never said I never said I couldn't work with a team. I never said I couldn't work in a team. I said I just go faster. I just move faster when I do it alone. That's the difference. And if it's with a team that everybody is pulling their weight, doing what they're supposed to do, then that's a plus. I think that's a plus. So I think I would also be able to manage. In fact, I've managed tasks and people several times. Right after I completed my university, I was working with this NGO that has to do with a lot of people's data. So I've been through that and I was able to do it. So I can do it. Thank you, Patrick.
Okay, so we have come to almost the end of this section. Thanks, Mr. Patrick. Thanks for engaging via the comment section. Let's say we'll be entertaining questions very brief before we end this section. So if you have a question, you can place it in the comment section while we attend to it. We have 5 minutes to do that. Okay, so goodness, thank you for engaging via the comment section. Nasiru, Kayode, you are highly welcome. Okay, so Mr. Shegun, are you there? Hello, Mr. Shegun.
Okay, that was a wonderful session. Thank you so much, everyone that joined. We really appreciate your time. I know it was not easy. We were having technical issues, while we were starting, but thank God we were able to have the session, right? So please watch out for the real web, the real cyber safety webinar, right? That's coming up next weekend. It's going to blow your mind. We are talking about something very, very important because, we are in the age and time of increase in internet penetration, right? So yeah, please stay tuned. We'll be making a post for us to join the session, right? So stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Mr. Briggs. That was a wonderful session, right? So till we meet again next week, we want to say bye for now.